You are Locked On Clippers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, hello and welcome into the Locked On Clippers Postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. Clippers with a fairly ugly one tonight, losing to the Rockets in Houston 111-103. I am Pete Fox, covering sports in LA, dating back to 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. Tonight's episode of the Clippers Postcast brought to you by FanDuel. You could start the season with a big return on FanDuel. New customers can play a $5 bet, and you'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. FanDuel.com to get started. Yeah, all in all, I'm really only excited about one thing tonight, and that is the fact that I finally got a new mic cable for my microphone. So when I accidentally bump into the microphone, there's no loud noises scaring you and blasting my ears. That was the highlight of tonight, honestly. Other than on the court, the youngster group that came in the fourth quarter really did make it interesting. I thought, okay, well, Ty Lue's waving the white flag. It's garbage time, and, they're going to phone it in and be done with this thing. But those guys being Jordon Miller, Kobe Brown, Terrance Man, Chris Dunn, and Amir Coffey. Now, they're not all youngsters. I guess the two being Jordon Miller and Kobe Brown are the guys we haven't seen a whole lot of or haven't had a ton of minutes on the floor. And then a little bit later, Bones Hyland came in, a guy we're familiar with. And quite honestly, I'm surprised as to why we haven't seen Bones Hyland more. A little bit. He had played like a total of 7 minutes before tonight. Doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. He's a guy that has energy and is a shot maker. He likes to shoot deep threes. He's not a turnover machine. I don't understand why we don't see him a little bit more. He can make shots. He's very athletic. He is a good player, good attitude, plays defense, a lot of energy. But more than anything, he's a guy that can help you get back into a game real fast. He's like a pinch hit guy, a pinch hitter in baseball off the bench who can hit a home run. That's what a Bones Hyland is to me. I feel like Jordon Miller can offer a lot too off the bench. Kind of surprised we haven't seen more of him. Played 12 minutes tonight, 3 of 8, including a 3 for 8 points. Terrance Man led the bench group, 24 minutes, 5 of 9, 2 threes, which is good for 14 points. That was his season high total. Amir Coffey, 26 minutes, 2 of 8, 1 3. Pretty much an off night for him as well. Look, across the board, the Clippers were off. It was ugly to me. When Norm Powell is not looking good, the entire team struggles. And James Harden did what James Harden has been doing of late. Poor shooting, but still figures out a way to score. 4 of 5 from the line, had 3 threes, started off very hot. 4 of 4 to start the game, then went 0 for 7. So it just went bad. He played 31 minutes, finished with 19. Derek Jones Jr., another decent night. I feel like this team is a work in progress, big time work in progress. We don't exactly know who's good and who's not, or who's reliable, I guess is a better way of looking at it. Derek Jones, 4 of 6, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc, 11 points. All in all, Clippers 36% from beyond the arc, 39% from the floor. That is just not going to get it done. It's not good enough, especially against a team that you have dominated of late. 9 of their last 10 in the win column for the Clippers versus the Rockets. They started off with a 9-0 run, not right out of the gate, but early in the first quarter. Chris Dunn was looking good. Again, he started tonight, which was good to see for a couple of reasons. That meant that Chris Dunn was starting and Terrance Man was sitting. So Terrance Man kind of like the sixth man, along with Amir Coffey. Those two guys, again, 26 and 24 minutes, but Terrance Man, a better night off the bench. So maybe we found something there that he likes that position a little better, feels a little bit more comfortable. Had 2 threes and 14 points again for his season high total. But Norm Powell, just an off night. I don't know if he's tired or it's just probability that he's not going to be that great every single night. No one is. So it's not terribly surprising. And you give him a break. I mean, he's been red hot. He's one of 3 players averaging 25 plus while shooting 50% from both the field and beyond the arc. That is remarkable. So it was bound that he wasn't going to be able to keep that up. The other thing that happened tonight that is one of the more frustrating things that this Clipper team does that really has to be solved. They have to figure out how to back up a run with playing a little bit of defense. I don't know how many times they did it tonight, at least 3 or 4, where they'd go on a nice 9-0, 10-0, 11-0 run and turn right around and give up a bigger run. It was like every single time they did something good for a few minutes, they would turn right around and give it right back. So you have to, in golf, they call it consolidating the birdie. Baseball, you get a few runs in a frame, you consolidate by not giving those runs right back in the next frame. The Clippers just have that is a problem for them. They do it all the time. But, they battled tonight. I guess you have to come away from this one feeling like, hey, it could have been worse. I don't know. Maybe we learned a little bit more about Jordon Miller. That group in the fourth quarter did provide a lot of energy, started playing some defense. Early in the fourth quarter, I wrote down there is absolutely no defense for the Clippers in the paint. These guys were just wide open to the rack. Sengun, Van Fleet, a little bit more of the outside guy. Didn't have a great night all in all. Did I say Van Fleet? I was calling that guy Van Fleet forever, back to when he was in college. I'm like, wait, it's Van Vliet? I only learned that a couple of years ago, but I still call him Van Fleet. 6 of 18, 2 of 7 from beyond the arc for 15 points. Wasn't a great night for him. Jalen Green, pretty good. Not great. His numbers are fairly bad. 7 of 21, 5 of 14 for 21 points. The bench guys were what put them over the finish line. Eason, 8 of 14, 18 points. And Amen Thompson, 18 points, going 6 of 9. That guy was just kind of wide open to the rack late in the game, especially in the third quarter, which was ugly. I went back and looked at the play-by-play of the third quarter, trying to find some good Clipper plays to put on the bucket list. Had a really, really tough time because that's right when James Harden went silent, ice cold, and I'd really, give Ty Lue a little bit of credit for sitting him down because it was just not good and trying to get creative and say, hey, if our starters aren't going to get it done, then we'll put some other guys in there that'll give you some energy. Those guys being Jordon Miller, Kobe Brown, Terrance Mann, Chris Dunn, who started, and Amir Coffey. And it seemed to work. They were playing defense. They were making shots. Bones Highland came in, hit a 3, 1 of 4 from the field, had 5 points. Batum, 1 of 4, 1 3. Problem with that is he had a little bit of Russell Westbrook in him, got a little overconfident, made that 1 3, and then backed it up with 2 misses. It's like, oh, come on. They had a tough time guarding not only the paint, they had a tough time guarding the perimeter. It just was an off night for the Clippers. Again, I think you could come away from this game thinking, like you did a couple of nights ago, well, there was things here that were good. This could have been way worse. Maybe you say that the Rockets took their foot off the gas a little bit, but I feel like the Clippers, if they do some of the basics, have a real shot at winning this game. There were plenty of times where the game was tied and it was a 2-point ball game, but guess what happened when they get close? They would let their foot off the gas and just kind of let the Rockets right back in. It wasn't like the Rockets were shooting lights out or anything. Clippers started hot and then cooled. And I was listening to part of the game on the radio to the Rockets broadcast, and their comment was they didn't feel like it was because of the Rockets. They felt like it was just the Clippers going cold. And again, I haven't said it this year yet because I try not to say it too much. It's one of my favorite statements that I've ever heard a coach say in really any sport, but primarily basketball. When Doc Rivers was the Clippers coach, there were plenty of times after a game when he'd be in the press room taking questions and people would ask this or that, what went wrong? Why'd you lose this game, etc. And Doc would answer something to the effect of, look, basketball in the NBA is a make-miss league. And if you're not making shots, it's very tough to win. And I'm like, amen. Thank you for saying that, because it's so true. A lot of times we try to dig deeper and say, well, the weak side defense wasn't great and penetration wasn't there and the passing was bad and too many turnovers, blah, 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 blah. Look, tonight the Clippers just didn't shoot well. And who knows why, right? I don't think it was, as the Rockets announcers pointed out, I don't think it was because the Rockets defense. Clippers are just off. They just had a cold night, 39%. They're a much better shooting team than that. And 36 from beyond the arc. They have had their struggles at the line tonight. 13 of 16, 81%. Not as bad as the Rockets, though, who were 12 of 17 for 70%. Rockets 37% from beyond the arc and 43 from the floor. So as far as the numbers, pretty tight. You could say that the Clippers turned the ball over. Was that the reason? No, not really. They won the turnover battle. And, amen to that. How about giving them a round of applause and a pat on the back after that last game against the Thunder, where it was 23. It was a disaster. It was just, avert your eyes from this most of the time when the Clippers had the ball. Turning it over, they pointed out early in the game that 15 of those turnovers were live ball turnovers, where the Thunder just kind of, strolled right into the rack to lay it up and in. No defense. So that was, the Clippers played offensively very well in that game and could have won had they not turned over the ball so much. Tonight, it was the exact opposite. Didn't turn the ball over at all, hardly. 9 times for them. It was like nothing. And just had a bad night shooting, 39%. So they lose tonight. Back-to-back losses now, 111-103. Off day tomorrow, and then right back against the Rockets again on Friday with a different colored floor, which everyone is up in arms about. NBA Cup, Emirates NBA Cup. We have to mention Emirates because they've paid millions to have their name on the in-season tournament. And guess what? The floor is going to be different. Oh, no. Too many colors. What are we going to do? Oh, watch out. Look out. Floor's red or blue or dark or not parquet. Okay, we get it. The floor's a different color. I don't understand why it's such a big deal. And quite honestly, I think it is annoying and ugly. It's a visual distraction. It is just awful. Let's call it like it is. It's bad. They could have done so many other things to not make it so visually confrontational. It's too much. I'm sorry. They don't need to do all of that. Like, stop trying to work so hard. Still just a basketball game. All right. So Clippers will play the Rockets again on Friday and try to get back on track and snap this 2-game losing streak. I'm Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Clippers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out. When every game is done, you can also listen wherever you find your podcasts on the Locked On Clippers podcast feed. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Clippers postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Get ready to tackle the NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win that first bet. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL or the NBA or whatever, all in one place. Like tonight, if I was wagering on this game, I probably would have lost because I would have said, the Clippers are going to get smoked. I would have said, take the Rockets and double digits at this point. But the Clippers came back and hung in there and made it interesting and only lost by 8. So those live bets are fun if you have a good feeling about a team and it comes to fruition. So you head to that live play-by-play page and make the live bets. You can get stats and so much more right where you make your bets. Visit FanDuel.com to join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. So again, the final tonight in Houston, losing to the Rockets 111-103 after the Clippers had won 9 of their last 10 versus Houston. In the second quarter, I thought things were looking pretty good. Passing the ball, moving it around the perimeter. James Harden was up to his old tricks, trying to draw fouls and flopping and all of that. The Houston announcers pointed it out. By the way, I don't know if they're still fans of James Harden or, old habits die hard or whatever, but they called him the Beard the whole time. Very rarely did they refer to him as Harden. It was always Beard with the ball, Beard, Beard, Beard. So his time there in Houston evidently was fairly meaningful. And I think for both of it, because reportedly James Harden still lives in Houston, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, they were like, they were giving the referees, I guess, credit for not falling for all of James Harden's tricks of trying to draw fouls. He did a few times, but there was more than once where James Harden tried to penetrate, couldn't get anything happening, flopped to the ground, drawing a foul, and the referees just let it go, play on. I say it all the time. I don't understand how he gets away with that. To me, it is all the time. If he doesn't have a good look for a 35-year-old guy, he's just trying to draw a foul. He doesn't have any ability to elevate. He falls into a player or throws his arms up in the air, and it works more often than not. Tonight, he had four. No, that's one foul. Only that's one foul on him. I don't know how no way to see how many fouls he drew, but he went to the line 5 times. 5 free throws. So that would be 3 times to the line or 2 and 1. Yeah. So 3 times to the line with an and 1. But yeah, it was classic James Harden, and it just wasn't working tonight. And that's fine with me. I just don't like that style of basketball. There was a nice effort and an opportunity for Harden to get the passing going, the bounce passes, the pocket passes to Ivica Zubac, or Zubac, as the Rockets announcer called him. I don't understand. This is not the most complicated name in sports. Why is it butchered so much? They just can't. Ivica Zubac. It's not that hard. It's not a bunch of syllables. It's not a tongue twister. I mean, maybe I'm saying it wrong. I don't know. I just go off of what the Clippers guys say, and I would assume they know. Ivica Zubac, not Zubac. It's not Zubac. At least they weren't saying Zubac like Jim Jackson. Although I feel like somebody said something to him because I haven't heard him say it in a while. But anyway, the Clippers were trying their hardest, working hard to get the ball to Zubac. But the fact of the matter was the defense provided by the Rockets in the paint was just too much. I mean, they were all over him, blocking shots, just making life tough on him. Sengun worked hard tonight, did a really nice job slowing Zubac down in a decent game. I mean, it's what you expect from Zubac, but 50% from the floor. Zubac usually misses 1 or 2 shots. He was 4 of 8 tonight in single digits, just 8 points and 0 for 2 from the line, 6 rebounds, which again is not getting it done. That's just not enough from Zubac. The fact was the Clippers got very few offensive rebounds. Zoo had just 2, and Jordon Miller had a couple. Again, that was late in the fourth quarter when the game was basically over, getting them back into it. But as far as the starters go, 3 total offensive rebounds. Again, insufficient, not enough. Zubac with 2 and Derek Jones with 1. So all in all, I don't know if they were tired from the traveling, which it's not a long journey, and the fact is that they are aware that they're not traveling today. Tomorrow they're off. They'll be hanging out in Houston and relaxing, getting ready for Friday. It just seemed like a lackluster, energetic performance tonight. Rockets had better everything, really. Their defense in the paint was better. Their defense at the perimeter was better. Their rebounding was better, especially on the offensive boards. Everything was better. 41 rebounds to 32 for the Clippers. I'm sorry, that's defensive rebounds. 59 to 42. Even worse. They just out-rebounded them like crazy. When you look at the shot percentage, they're only a little bit better, 43 to 39. It shouldn't have been as much of an ugly game as it was. And honestly, the only reason it wasn't ugly was because those youngsters, Jordon Miller, Kobe Brown, got in there and brought some energy along with Bones Highland, helping out Terrance Man, Amir Coffey, and Chris Dunn in the fourth quarter. So I don't know if that's a group that we're going to see more, maybe in the second quarter. I know that Ty Lue always tries to mix things up in the second quarter and give the starters a little rest right there, especially the old guys like Harden. So, maybe we found something there tonight. Will be interesting to see what comes of that. We'll do the bucket list after this, talk about the top 5 or 6 baskets of the night, most of which happened early in the game, and then a few in the fourth quarter where the Clippers got back into it and made it interesting. But in the end, the Rockets win it 111-103. Clippers are now 500, 6-6, 3-2 on the road. Rockets are 8-4 and 5-2 at Toyota Center. It's the Locked On Clippers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. Place to hang out when every game is done. We appreciate you allowing us to be your source for your team every day. Well, with big wireless providers, what you see is what you get. Somewhere between the store and your first month's bill, the price you thought you were paying magically skyrockets. With Mint Mobile, you'll never have to worry about gotchas ever again. With Mint Mobile, when they say $15 a month, that's what you get. You purchase a 3-month plan, they mean it. It's $15 a month. Say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected averages. Evidently, Ryan Reynolds has it figured out. I am not displeased with my mobile service at this point, but this all sounds too good to be true. And, if you watch any of the soccer documentary that Rob and Ryan do on FX. I'm forgetting the name of the team over there in Wales, but they seem like the real deal. They don't seem like they're full of it. And the fact that Ryan Reynolds is involved with this makes me believe that it is exactly what it claims to be. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text and delivered on the nation's nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with you. All of your existing contacts, so you don't have to go through all reloading your phone and everything like that. You just change the IP address or whatever it is that makes your phone change networks. Ditch overpriced wireless with Mint Mobile's deal and get 3 months of premium wireless service for just $15 a month. To get new customers, offer your 3-month premium. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/lockedonnba. That's mintmobile.com/lockedonnba. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/lockedonnba. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabyte on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. All right, Clippers come away with this one, a 111-103 loss where they looked good in the first, tied at 28, 9-0 run to start things, but they turned right around in a few minutes and gave it right back with an 11-0 run. And that's really something that they have to work on. You got to be able to consolidate a lead or consolidate a run and not fall asleep right after. I don't know what that is, if they get confident or cocky or what. I'm assuming they are aware that it happens a lot because it's just not a good situation to be in. It's nice that they can go on these runs and score points and get back into games in a hurry, but you got to be able to hold on to those leads, or at least when you get it back to competitive, keeping the game within reach, not letting it slip right away again. Here's the top 5 or 6 tonight on the bucket list. For number 5, Amir Coffey hit a 3 at the 1-minute mark of the first. That gave the Clippers a 28-26 lead. But they gave up a bucket to make it 28 at the break between the first and the second. For number 4, Norm Powell had a nice layup and a foul at the 8:49 mark of the second. He made the free throw to make it 39-38. For number 3, Derek Jones Jr., a layup and the foul Clippers were getting fouled a fair amount and penetrating to the rack, which was nice to see, but they just weren't hitting threes the way we're used to. Norm Powell had an off night. Amir Coffey had an off night. James Harden had an off night. So they tried other things. Harden had 19, but again, nobody else really got hot. Nobody else was on fire. There were guys trying, like Derek Jones Jr., lay up in a foul off of a steal, which was nice. That made it 54 all after the free throw. That was at the 2:28 mark of the second. Then Nick Batum's three at the 3:04 mark of the third brought it to within 2 points. Clippers down 79-77 for number 1A. Terrance Man hit a three at the 5:19 mark of the fourth. That made it 102-91 right at the beginning of when they started to get back into it with that young group on the floor. And then Bones hit one at the 3-minute mark to make it 105-97. But they started to fall apart very quickly after that and kind of just ran out of gas. Too many misses all in all. But being down as bad as 19 and making it interesting, I guess you come away with a little bit of a moral victory, a little silver lining. Rockets were on a 16-2 run early in the fourth, and the Clippers got back into it with Jordon Miller and Kobe Brown. I don't know much about those guys. I do know that what I saw from Jordon Miller seemed promising. Maybe this guy will get a little bit more time. Athletic, fluid, left-handed shot, 6'5", a lot of energy, good around the basket, can shoot the ball as well, hit a three. So he's really got all the tools. He's just a young player. So we're going to need to see a little bit more out of him, a little bit more experience, and maybe it starts tonight. As far as Kobe Brown, they like him too, reportedly. Played 8 minutes tonight, 2 of 5 for 4 points. Again, I still don't understand. Didn't see Kai Jones at all tonight, which was interesting. I don't understand why we don't see more of Bones Highland. I don't know if it's an attitude thing. I don't know if Ty Lue doesn't like him. It feels like he could provide something something similar to what Russell Westbrook would do last night when he would come in late in the first, early in the second, and just provide that energy. Everybody likes him. He seems like a likable guy. I've heard no negative ill will towards Bones Highland. I don't know what the problem is. It's weird. It's very bizarre. The fans love him. I don't know if that is sympathy or what, but it feels like if you could manage Bones Highland's minutes a little bit more, keep him around 10 or 12, it would be better. He could provide something. He provides energy. And if you put him in the game and he starts trying to shoot those deep threes and is, bricking him off the heel of the rim, then you pull him out, but if he gets hot, what he's capable of. That he's capable of making a handful of those shots and get you right back into a game there. Like tonight, I was surprised they didn't see him sooner, because this game was kind of out of hand. Again, in the fourth quarter, they were down 19. So to get back into it and lose only by 8 was a moral victory, something to walk away from this game and think, all right, we have to clean up the defense and play with more energy and guard the paint. Active hands that has been a big part of their defense, stealing the ball, knocking the ball away. Clippers just didn't have that energy going on tonight. 9 steals, decent number, bettered the Rockets by 1, but they're usually closer to 12, 13, 14 in that neighborhood. So just need more energy on defense, both at the perimeter and in the paint, and they got to make more shots. Pretty simple. 111-103, the final tonight. Clippers have lost back-to-back games. They're now 6-6. Off day tomorrow, then back at it on Friday for the first game of the Emirates NBA Cup. And I don't know if you guys know about this or not, but get ready for some craziness on the floor. The floor is going to be wild, just crazy colors all over the place, bright. It's just going to be in your face. So get ready for it. If you haven't heard that yet, it's going to be like a bunch of different colors on the floor. The floors are going to be painted. Okay, we got it. We're ready. We're ready for the painted floors. Let's do it. Clippers again with the Rockets on Friday at 5. I unfortunately will not be available for that post game, but I will see you guys on Saturday as the Trojans take on Nebraska. That game starts at 1. And then on Sunday, we're going to try to do Clippers and Chargers, although I'm not sure that will work because the Chargers are playing on Sunday Night Football And let's see what time the Clippers game is. They are at 6 against the Jazz. So I won't be able to do that because the Charger game is on at the exact same time. So I will catch you guys for Clippers Postcast on Monday versus the Warriors, which will be in LA at Intuit Dome. So we'll talk then. Again, don't forget Chargers on Sunday night, and then on Saturday we got Trojans. So have a good one. Thanks for joining me here on the Locked On Clippers Postcast, the place to hang out when every game is done on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. We appreciate you allowing us to be your source for your team every day. Have a good night. Take care.